Here's XJ40, cleaned up as best I can, following a 1800-mile trip to the southeast of France, to Annecy. All good, no issues. Today's video is going to be focusing on X356. Got an engine check engine oil or check service indicator come up on the dash just before we went on holiday. So she's due an oil and filter change, so I'll quickly go through how we do that, and then after that, the second part of the video will show how to reset the service indicator, which is a little bit fiddly but quite doable. So let's crack on. So Jaguar extended servicing for the AJD6 engine, the 2.7 bi-turbo diesel V6, is around 10,000 miles. However, if you do short journeys or you're not doing many long journeys, the recommended frequency is probably about 5,000 or 6,000 miles, or if you actually spot the oil level on the dipstick increasing since you last change it, basically that means that the diesel means unburnt diesel fuel is diluting the oil, and that's getting through past the piston rings. Typically these engines are designed to use more diesel when cold. They take a long time to get warm, and also they use more diesel when trying to regenerate the diesel particulate filter. And what can happen if the exhaust is not hot enough, then unburnt diesel can roll back into the cylinders and seep past the piston rings and dilute the oil. If you dilute the oil with diesel, then you risk damaging a number of your bearings and seals in the engine, which is not good news. And we've seen many a V6 diesel destroyed due to lack of regular servicing. So what I'm doing on this one, it was serviced, had a full service back in January 2025. It's now August 2025. I haven't done the mileage, but I'm going to change it anyway because of the servicing light came on in the car, and so that's what we're going to do next. The engine oil filter should be located just under the engine cover. So it looks like we may have to take the oil cap off just to get better access. So I'm going to turn her off now. She's warmed up, and I'll also start prepping up with getting her jacked up. So these are the tools I'm going to be using. I've got my two 3-ton jacks, so I can jack evenly either side of the vehicle. I've also got these. These are quite new. I'm really quite keen to try these out. So these just go over the weld seals, the jacking points, and then should just give you a nice surface to jack up. I'll just go on the pads. What we got? So this is 5W30. You see the certifications: API SN, AE, ACEA, A5B5. Fully synthetic, and this is suitable for the Jaguar turbo diesel V6. I'm going to be using around 6.5 litres. So I've just taken the oil cap off and also the oil dipstick out, just to give me some room to lift off the engine cover. Remembering to put the chocks on the back, so we're going to be jacking the car from the front. So the jack point is just in here. There's a seam, so hence I'm going to use this, and that should just fit in nicely in there. Bit of a wiggle. There you go. So that's in, and what I'll do is just get the jack in underneath that, and then we should be good to start jacking up on that. I'm going to do it on both sides. Only reason is that aluminium body chassis does flex a bit, so I'm going to be jacking up slowly but surely from both sides. So let's get this one in place. So you can see just in here, nice fit here on the rubber pad, and I'll go and do the same on the other side. Okay, second one in place. If you do find that it doesn't fit, it may well be that some helpful soul has previously deformed your seals, in which case the weld seal can usually be straightened out using just a traditional pair of large pliers such as these, which I've done here. So the XJ is now on the axle stands. There are some specific points you have to put these axle stands on. they are obscured by the service tray. So the service trays had to come off, and I'll show that in a moment. But looking under here, we do have a bit of corrosion. Surprise, surprise, it's a UK car. It's going to happen, right? But yeah, there's a few things here that have started to corrode away, unfortunately. And over there you should be able to see the other jacking points. So I've got the load of the car on the axle stands, plus they're also supported by the two jacks as well. So here's a service tray. Front end is here. You can see here it's not in great shape. There should be some securing bolts places here and here, but they've all been ripped off. These are still in place, these points here. Just a 10mm bolt and washer holding them on, all as one piece. At the back though, oh dearie me, again these were missing, and over here as well. And over here you can see these are completely gone. So someone's actually punched through some holes here. See my finger here, and also over here, where we've used cable ties. In fact, if I come over to the tray, you'll see there's a whole load of cable ties. Okay, so we're under the car now, and here is the sump. Quite small, but probably quite deep. Modern cars, all compact packaging, isn't it? So 13mm for the sump drain nut. There we go. We have oil, ladies and gents. Well, the oil's still draining just now, and I have to admit it does smell a bit diesely. I got some on my hands and it washed off just that little bit too easily. So I think I've caught this just in the nick of time. I think the oil is losing its lubrication properties, so I think the engine will be quite grateful for the new oil that we're going to put in shortly. Okay, so the nut on here, or the nut shape on here for the oil canister, is actually 32mm. If it'd been any bigger, I think I would have struggled to get it off. So hopefully won't get oil everywhere, but we'll never know. That sounds like oil coming out. It is. Glad I got that under there to catch it. I think that's off now. I'll wait for the oil to stop draining. So here's the container with the 32mm nut shape on the bottom. I've inverted it, and you can just see here the cartridge, and that's what we're going to be replacing shortly. And just there is the seal, so we'll replace that as well. Got a new one in the box, but again, just as before, I'm getting whiffs of diesel, so that's not great. So anyway, we'll get that replaced. So I think we're good to go and put the nut back on. So let's just do that now. I'm going to do that by hand. Stop dribbling. So 13mm nut, and she'll go to about 25-30 Newton meters, so not that tight. Quick update, so the service tray's back on. The way I did it was I loosely fitted some cable ties at the rear of the service tray to what I think is part of the gearbox mount. I loosely fitted that, then I came up here and slid in this section under here, and then from there I was able to then line up the screws here and just over there, and finally just fitting these ones here and here, and that's on pretty tight now. I was then able to tighten up the cable ties at the back, so it's on nice and tight. That isn't going anywhere, so job well done, given that the service tray is not in particularly great health. So next I think I'll be looking to lower the car down and then fit the new oil cartridge. So here is the oil canister. You can see just down the bottom there's a sort of plastic holder, spring clip, that holds the oil filter in. And if I look at the oil filter here, you see you've got a little nozzle at the top here, and the other end will just click in to the plastic spring release. Now, if you find them a little bit stiff to get out, all I did was gently use a screwdriver just to sort of ply around the edges, and this thing pull up at the same time and it releases the filter. So the next thing I'll do is replace the little O-ring here. Got a fresh one in there, and then I'll fit the new cartridge. Okay, the little O-ring's in place. I just checked around and made sure it's seated properly so that it's not twisted and won't let any oil past. And the cartridge, that just pushes in firmly, and I made sure the little nozzle is lined up with this blue mark here to make it easier when we look to offer it back up to the car, which will be the next step once I've lowered the car. So just down here, you can see this is where the oil canister now fits. So we'll line up where the hole needs to go into using the blue mark roughly, and then we should be able to tighten it up using a 32mm nut. Okay, so I just put 6.5 litres in of oil, and that brought her up to about 2/3 or just over on the dipstick. Very important not to overfill these, so what I'll do next is I'll start her up, let the oil circulate. No doubt the oil canister just here will probably take a bit more, so I'll let it run for a little while, and then what I'll do is I'll look to check the oil level again, top up as necessary, and then I think it's just a case of putting the engine cover back on. And then finally, once I get cleaned up and changed out of my oily overalls, I'll look to show how to do the engine oil service indicator reset on the car. Okay, so the final bit to do is the engine light service reset. So the way we do that is to put the ignition into position 2, but prior to that we need to hold the reset button, which is this one here. So let me get the sequence right. So I think it's hold down the reset button just here, position 2, turn on position 2 while still holding the reset button, release the reset button, and then we come over to here with the trip button. We hold that down and then hold the reset button down back over here at the same time, and then we should see on the display in the message center the bit that says the resetting service mode or something similar to that. Now the fun bit is that we have to do that within 3 seconds, otherwise the operation fails and nothing happens. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix the camera into a static position, and then we should be good. Reset buttons on. 1, 2, release. Resetting service mode, get in. Yes. Still holding the buttons down, the trip and the reset mode. And eventually it will do it. Still waiting for it to reset. Service mode reset. We're done. So just to recap, hit the reset button, turn the ignition on to position 2, release reset, hit the trip button, hit the reset button, all within 3 seconds, hold it down and the service mode will reset. So we'll just turn on the ignition again, and this time there is no servicing requirements. Light. Brilliant. And we're done. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you found this useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, bit of a like, perhaps comment down below if you've got any questions. Thanks a lot. I think I need to go down to the pub after that. Oh, what did